Morning chaps, it's day 3 and the final day. Well, that's woke me up. So just 3 miles or so until we reach the town of New Galloway, and there we'll get some breakfast and a cup of tea. Oh, looking forward to that. Anyway, I woke up this morning to a text off my brother. He said he was watching the news, and on the news they said an African tribe has moved up here to Scotland and settled somewhere in Scotland. Can you believe that? A full-on African tribe. Out of all the places to choose to settle, and they chose Scotland, bonny Scotland. Can you imagine the person who discovered them? Ma, you won't believe what I've just saw. What, son? I took the dog for a wee walk, and there's a bloody African tribe in the park, ma. What have I told you, son, about smoking that wacky backy? It's no good for you. It's no good for you. No, mum, honestly, there's an African tribe. Face paint, piercings and all. Aye. Anyway, let's get to New Galloway. So this is New Galloway, and I'll tell you what, out of all the little small villages we visited so far, this seems to be the quietest. It's gone 9 AM now, and nothing's open. I think the post office is open. But I've just passed the café, which is up for sale, and there's not much happening here at all. There's a couple of hotels, but I doubt I'm going to be able to get a cup of tea. Starting to worry now. Been looking forward to a cup of tea, and I don't know when we'll reach the next little village. But there's nothing here. It's smaller than I expected. I thought it was going to be, with it being New Galloway and we're in the Galloway forest, I thought this might have been the main town or whatever, but it's not. Very small. Hi, mate. Yeah. Is this is this a shop? Aye. Is this the only shop in the village? Aye. Is it? Yeah. We've got a little shop here, we'll have a little look in here. Hiya, you okay? Hiya. Great. So we managed to get a cup of tea from that community shop. Lovely little shop, but they didn't sell much. No doner pies or steak bridies, so we'll have to wait until we find somewhere else, maybe another little village, before we can get some hot food. We did get, however, some Scottish tablets. Now, you're most probably expecting me to pop an icky, but no, this is Scottish tablet. The lady behind the till, she said, "What, you can't get that down south?" I said, "No, I've never saw it before." She said, "It's just like sugar." So might give us some energy anyway for our bike ride. Oh. I like that. It's hard to explain exactly what it tastes like. It's a little bit like fudge. Is it? Yeah, I think it's a bit like fudge, but not as chewy. And we also got, with it being our last day in Scotland, some more iron brew in a glass bottle. You don't find this back down south, as they say up here, back in England, in the glass bottle. Well, you hardly ever see it in a glass bottle. You can get it in a can from any newsagents or whatever, but in a glass bottle, this is the proper Scottish stuff. This, they save the best stuff for over here. That's got to be Scotland's best ever invention. What else have they invented? Kilts, haggis, bagpipes. I mean, if those three things were never invented, I don't think the world would be any different, would it? But as for this, if this disappeared from the face of the earth, I think we'd be in fallout, wouldn't we? It'd be Judgment Day without iron brew. Well, the climbing's begun. Lovely view though, isn't it? Look at that. And we're just reaching somewhere called Balmaclellan. But we're going straight on. We're not going down there into Balmaclellan. I wish we were, but no more climbing. I think we've got a bit of a climb today. Near the start, we've got 26 miles to go until we get to Dumfries, so I think the first few miles is going to be quite tough, and then after that it should flatten out, hopefully. But look, serious climbing here with this weight. I'll see you when we get to the top, and we'll stop for an iron brew break. Oh wow. This bottle's kept my iron brew nice and cold as well. That's a lovely treat when you've been cycling uphill for the past, I don't know, 10 miles. And now we're here at a place called Black Craig. This is Black Craig behind us. Must be the only Black Craig in the whole of Scotland. We've had a bit of a change of environment here. A bit of change of scenery. As much as I like the open spaces, it's always good to have a bit of variation. Mix it up a little bit. For all the Christmas trees though. Can you imagine this place in the winter when they're covered in snow? It'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Tell you what, if you haven't got the money to take your kids to Lapland for Christmas, just bring them here to the Galloway Forest Park. Oh, wow. I'm sure you'll find a fat fella with a white beard who can pretend to be Father Christmas. I might even apply for the role myself. Well, I don't know whether you could make that out or not, but that faded sign says Dunsker. It's another 8.75 miles, so almost 9 miles to Dunsker, which is the closest village. We really are in the middle of nowhere here. So we've got another 9 miles before we can get something to eat. Can you see that there? Where that red line is, that's where we are now. So we've still got quite a bit of a steep climb to go for a couple of miles. But then look at that. Once we do reach the top, it's almost all downhill to Dumfries. We're currently 575 foot in elevation. I've only turned this on 12 minutes ago, the commute. So we've been in motion for 12 minutes. We've got an hour and 29 minutes remaining. We've travelled a mile 21 since I turned it on. We've got 17.1 remaining. Our average speed 6.1 miles per hour because we're going uphill still. So another few miles, let's crack on with it, and then we should have a nice downhill, almost all downhill, all the way to Dumfries. Well, we've been climbing hills all morning. Finally, we've reached the top and we're going down the other side, and it looks like this should continue like this downhill for a good few miles, just downhill, no cycling, for at least 4 or 5 miles, most probably all the way until we reach the town of Dunsker. Look at it. That was good while it lasted. I think we've reached the bottom because it's flattened out and I can see a bit of a climb just ahead. It took us a fraction of the time getting from the top to the bottom than what it did getting from the bottom to the top. And I've just had a look how far to Dunsker. It's not far at all. But we're not going to go there, it's pointless. We'd have to take a bit of a detour to get there anyway. And I thought I'd have a quick look to see what's there. There's nothing there, not even a shop. There's a pub, but it doesn't open until 7 PM. It's a community pub, so I doubt they do food there anyway. And I'm starving. I've just had the last of that Scottish tablet. That'll keep me going. We've still got 57 minutes, 11 miles until we get to Dumfries. Hopefully we pass somewhere along the way. I threw away my emergency Scotch egg. I've still got those Maltesers cake bars in my bag, but I'm gonna hold on until we get to Dumfries, I think, and enjoy some nice pub grub there. But we might pass somewhere, hopefully, on the way. Sometimes you get those like farm cafes, don't you? But just looking on my phone then, it didn't look like there's anywhere until we get to Dumfries. Still a long way to go. An hour. Well, it's going to take longer than that. It's an hour according to Google. Right, so I'll catch up with you once we're a little bit further down the road. Look how many cows are there behind me. I've thrown a bit of a crowd, haven't I? What do you want? I don't think they've ever saw a GoPro before, or a Scouser. But I'm just sitting here and I've just been thinking, could you trade your life in the city for a life out here in the countryside? I couldn't. It's by far too isolated. It's not for me. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. Not disputing that, just take a look. But if you get a sudden urge for a bag of McCoys or a milkshake, like we all do from time to time, and you've got none in, then you're fucked, aren't you? In the cities, Liverpool for example, we've got thousands of convenience stores. At least one on every estate. It's in the name, the convenience, aren't they? You get anything there. They're open till all hours. Here, we haven't passed one shop since we were in New Galloway, and that was only a small shop, not very well stocked. We've still got 10 miles to go, and we're not going to pass another shop for another 10 miles until we get to New Dumfries. So in a 30-mile radius, we haven't passed one shop, one cafe, one pub, one restaurant. There's nothing. We are in the middle of nowhere. I could always milk one of them, couldn't I?
Subscribe to Tour de Carla.
You heard them. Go and subscribe. Just 8.7 miles to go, and this is a steep one. Come on, let's get through it. It's written in the wind, it's everywhere I go. So if you really love me, love me, love me, come on and let it show. Bye bye baby, baby blue, bye. I say, don't you know? You say you don't know. I say, take me out. Oh, forget about me. Oh. Suddenly I see this is where I'm supposed to be. Suddenly I see why the hell it means so much to me. So here we are. We've made it. We've made it back to Dumfries, where we started 3 days ago. It seems like such a long time ago now, doesn't it? And I thought we'd have a Scottish sing-along to keep up the spirits. I hope you enjoyed it. I was like a young Marty Pellow there, wasn't I, for a minute? Minus the good looks and the heroin. Anyway, behind us here, that's a statue of the poet Robert Burns. He's one of Scotland's national heroes, isn't he? In fact, they have a Burns night, don't they? They celebrate Burns night once a year. It's most probably Scotland's second biggest celebration. The first biggest only comes once every 4 years, and that's when England get knocked out the World Cup. Anyway, let's try and find somewhere we can get something to eat. I'm starving now. So what's in the box, I hear you ask? Well, I enjoyed that doner pie so much yesterday. I've got myself a doner kebab, but not only have I got myself a doner kebab, once I ate this, we've got in here Well, being in Scotland, any guesses? We've got ourselves a battered Mars bar. A battered Mars bar and another can of iron brew. But let's give the kebab a go first. I don't know whether this is a thing here in Scotland, but they just give you, say, a doner meat, pita bread, sauces and salad. It all comes separate. I don't mind that, I'm not complaining. I can't use that. I'm going to have to ask him to get a better fork. You won't believe it, that's all they've got. That. Try and use two of them. Now this place is one of the highest rated takeaways here in Dumfries. I don't think there's loads of them, but this is right up there with the best apparently. Can't see why. The only positive I can give it is that all this costs £12.90, which is quite cheap. That was for 2 cans, battered Mars bar, and doner kebab. Can't eat anymore. It was vile. It's as dry as Gandhi's flip-flop, and it tastes like Osama bin Laden's armpit. Anyway, let's see if this place can redeem itself with the battered Mars bar. Oh. That's something different. Does it get more Scottish? A can of iron brew and a battered Mars bar. I'll tell you what, today we've done some miles on the bike and we've burnt off some calories, but I bet you after this we're still not in a calorie deficit. I do like them though. Wouldn't eat one every day. Wouldn't live very long if you did. But not bad. Oh. And that is most probably our last can of iron brew for a while. I know we can get it back down south, as they say, back in England, but I'd never choose iron brew at home. I do like it, but yeah, I don't know what it is, it just tastes different. Well, I suppose this is it, chaps. This is the end of our 3-day bike packing adventure across the Galloway Forest Park up here in Scotland. I'm here at Dumfries train station now. I've got to get a train back into Carlisle and then one into Wigan and then one into Huyton. It should take about 3 hours. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Apologies to the Scottish for all the Scottish bashing, if that's what you want to call it. But as I've said, possibly more than once throughout this vlog, the Scottish, they've got a good sense of humour, haven't they? So I'm sure they'll take it well. I don't even know if we've got any Scottish subscribers anyway. But anyway, nothing left to do now but to say goodbye and thanks for watching. So goodbye from Scotland, and I'll see you all in the next one.